Hello and what is up everyone, it is Hachi from the Art of Dota, and in this video I'm going to be doing a full patch analysis for Dota 2's gameplay update 7.13, and this is going to be a shorter patch as compared to last week. We're not going to actually get any hero changes. I already skimmed through a little bit. It's only going to be general changes this week. Now, looking at the first change, it's a little bit of a troll here. Aegis now has an alternative tooltip that explains how to pronounce the item, and I believe I just pronounced it wrong, so maybe this is actually relevant. I think I've been told that the correct way to say it is Aegis, but we'll find out, as the game will tell us now, apparently. Okay. Moving onward to the actual changes here. Looks like all of the tower bounties are going to be reduced. So tier 1 tower, tier 2 tower, tier 3 tower, tier 4 tower is going to get reduced by, is that all 20 gold? No, tier 1 and tier 2 is going to get reduced. Tier 2 significantly actually. Tier 1's only reduced by 20 gold. Tier 2 by 80. Tier 3 by 60, and Tier 4 by 40. Previously, Tier 2, Tier 3, and Tier 4 all gave the same amount of gold. This is going to mean that the game is going to get even more slowed down, as I feel like the patch has already slowed down a little bit. Just with the incremental changes, like the heroes going in and out of the meta. But reducing the tower team bounty means that it's not necessarily as worth it to just like group up, take all of your enemies' towers. They don't really give you that much reward, because the reward before for just like completely taking control of the map, and not only taking control of the map but also just taking every tower, especially like if you don't have a straight pushing lineup, it can take a big commitment to take these tier 2s down. Is that your supports would get really rich with all the tower bounty. But now that they're reducing like the tier 2 bounty especially so significantly, this probably means that there's not that much incentive to just go in there and like take out these tier 2s. You might just take down the crucial towers, so you can take control of the map, like the mid tower, mid tier 1, and enemy safe lane tower. But now, like, it's not as worth it to just like take every tier 2, which means that later on in the game, like if you actually don't take out tier 2s early, they can actually be tough to take down, because you just can't really get in a position where you're willing to push a tier 2, which means that overall teams are just gonna have more map control. The game's gonna slow down, pretty much what that's gonna mean. Because if you're not putting the effort into taking these towers early, because it's not necessarily worth it, the towers are going to survive, which means later on in the game, like, it might, give you some issues. For example, like if you're winning the game, but tier 2 happens to be up because you didn't go for it early on, you just survived throughout the whole game, and you can't go for mega creeps, for example, if you win like a big team fight, because one tier 2 is still alive. So we'll see how this change actually affects the meta. There's a tournament going on right now, Star Ladder, so we'll see how the teams adjust. It doesn't look like this change is that major, but it is actually pretty big. In addition, they also reduced the range barracks team bounty by 50, and also the filler buildings bounty as well, which isn't that big of a deal. Now, range creep gold bounty has also been reduced, the average bounty, so just slightly, but it does add up, and this actually makes it a little bit closer to melee creep bounty, which I'm not sure what the number is there, but I know range creep was a lot higher. The average was a lot higher, so you can potentially even get up to 60 gold with a range creep, and now this is just pinching it there, making the creeps worth about the same amount. Just I know the range creep is still slightly higher at 54. I don't know the bounty for melee creep off the top of my head. I know it's around 50 something. Anyway, glyph duration has been increased from 5 seconds to 6 seconds. And that should help actually just stall for high ground pushes. Like that one whole second could be a big deal, because that's just one like extra second that the enemy has to back off. They can't actually take your tower. You know, consider like how you have refreshed glyph for every tier 1, so you're gonna be able to glyph every tier 1 if you're paying attention. That's extra time that the enemy team will have to stay at a tower, or they'll just have to back off entirely, allowing you more time, ample time to respond. Anyway, melee barracks HP is increased from 1500 to 1800. Again, I feel like this patch is just slowing the game down even more here. Shrines HP has also been increased. Shrines now have 5 HP regen. So the shrines actually regen in HP now, meaning that you can't just slowly chip them down with like Helm of the Dom units or just any summoned units in general. Which actually is a big thing. It's like, for example, like you actually have to commit to killing a shrine now. You can't just like be like a nature's prophet and just send tree ants onto it casually and eventually it'll die. And like if you're not that far ahead, it's not that easy to commit to a shrine, especially if it's active, as it's just a defense point where the enemy team can go, another point where the enemy team can go fight, potentially come back in the game, assuming they're behind. Assuming they're behind because they've already lost a tier 3, right? But they might have just got a tier 3 ratted or something, and if they're still ahead in the game, it's going to be pretty much impossible to kill their shrine because they'll be ready and willing to fight, and there's no chance to like chip it down and slowly take it down, especially with it having increased HP here by 250. Same thing with barracks here. With the increased melee barracks HP, it's going to be that much harder. It's going to take you like a couple of extra seconds if you're trying to rat or go for some type of split push play, or even just straight up push. So they rescaled level 12 to 25 respawn time curve interval to be less early and the same later on. What does that mean? So, alright, so you respawn a little bit faster. That's it. Again, this is gonna potentially slow down the game because if you're not dead for that long, you're gonna come back and defend. Like all of these changes just makes it a little bit harder for you to just close out the game or just straight up get a quick win. Which that's kind of weird because I feel like that's not really a problem with the state of the meta right now. Some games end relatively quickly, like 20 minutes, something like that. But usually it's with like a Huskar strategy or some type of push strategy. I don't feel like this is a problem right now, but I don't know. Removed hero class specific perks. The bonus now affects all classes. Now this is something big actually. So before, strength heroes would get status resistance. With the more strength they have, int heroes would get magic resistance, and agility heroes would get move speed. But now that no longer applies. All heroes now get all bonuses. Now, okay, so strength does not give status resistance anymore. It now does what? Okay, rebalance strength bonus below. They provide +1 bonus damage to primary attribute holders. Okay, so they still give damage, so they didn't get rid of that. So strength heroes, they'll get damage from strength. Agi heroes get damage from Agi, etc. The primary attribute now provides +25% more benefit to the bonus it provides. So you no longer only get the sole benefit from your main stat. So you also get move speed from Agi, but you'll get more benefit if you're a strength hero with a lot of strength. But what does it give now? Gives magic resist. Is that right? Yeah. It gives magic resist, and now int gives spell amp, and agi still gives move speed. Why did they put stats resistance here? I don't even know. Anyway, so this is the old strength. You would get 20 health, HP regen, and stat resistance. So the stat resistance previously was only received from strength heroes, but now all heroes will receive these bonuses. So now it's 18 strength, but you will get more if you're a strength hero, and it actually applies to every attribute, including the HP regen and the health. So this makes it so that this didn't happen before, by the way, at all. Like every hero still got the health and got the HP regen, they just didn't get the stat resistance. But now strength heroes will just straight up get more value from every aspect of strength. So the health gain, the HP regen gain, and now receiving magic resistance, which will make it 22 health per strength, 22.5, 0.68% HP regen, and 0.1% magic resistance. It's interesting that strength gives magic resistance. Anyway, to intelligence, used to give all of these, 12 mana, 2% mana regen, spell amp. Previously, heroes would get spell amp, regardless, right? The magic resistance was the thing that was special, but now they just removed the magic resistance part. Spell amp stays, so int nerfed. Technically, you just lost an attribute of int if you're an int hero, but they didn't change the numbers. So technically, how the strength they nerf the health and the HP regen. For intelligence, they kept it the same, except for the mana regen. That was nerfed slightly by 0.2%. And these are the new stats you get from int if you're an int hero. Not that significant. Like 25% increase is not that. Like, I'm surprised it wasn't a little bit higher. Maybe a 50% increase. Because that's your attribute. Because like, what is 25%? It's not that much. You get 3 more int per, or yeah, 3 more int or 3 more mana per int. For agi, they changed armor, nerfed it slightly. The attack speed stayed the same. Move speed slightly changed. So it looks like previously they nerfed it down a little bit so that the buffed or old stats were now given to the primary attribute. So like, for example, look here, like before we gave 20 health, and nerfed it down for everyone else except for strength heroes that would get slightly more than the old stat here, right? And same thing for HP regen, which actually gets slightly less. And then the magic resistance is new, so I'm not going to mention that. Same thing for int here, except for mana. Mana, they left it the same, so they're going to overall benefit right there. And for agi, same thing. They nerfed armor a little bit, so they're going to get a slightly benefit from the extra armor and attack speed as well. So actually, agi got the best, I think. Because, yeah, for new strength, even if you're a strength hero, you get less HP regen than before. For int, you're getting more both ways, but only slightly more for mana regen. But for agi, you're getting a decent amount of armor and attack speed. A decent amount more, like almost 25% more. Because they only nerfed armor by 0.01, which is barely anything. And you also get more move speed. Or about the same as you did before, but still slightly more. So anyway, this is actually all for gameplay update 7.13. There's not much to it, but just summarize things. It looks like they're done things to slow down the game. just slightly, making it a little bit harder to end or just straight up snowball your opponents. They also changed how stats work. Now they removed status resistance as a bonus for strength. They moved magic resistance over to strength. They got rid of magic resistance for int, and they just, instead of giving unique benefits per attribute, they're gonna give it to everyone. But if your primary attribute is strength, you're gonna get more of everything. If it's int, you're gonna get more of everything, etc. So that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. This is my patch breakdown of 7.13. I'll see you all in the next video. It's actually going to be a Visage video. They didn't change Visage at all, so hope you guys are excited for that. And I'll see you all later. Make sure you subscribe or leave a like down below if this video helped you out. I'm doing these patch analysis every 2 weeks as they come out. So see you all later. Peace out. It is Hachi signing out.